Hello survivors, welcome to another Soulstone survivor video. In today's video we are going to be playing with the Arcane Weaver. But there's a couple of things. One, they got a brand new artifact power. We didn't ever show this much on the update video, so we're going to play around with it. We're going to see how far we can push, ladies and gentlemen. I've got an Overlord build over here. We are going to be running ourselves Arcane Overlord, Blades of Light, Heart-Rending Strike, On Guard, Thrust, and Quick Strike with reroll mastery. We're then running critical mastery because we don't have a second aptitude, so we don't have aptitude to prowess. So we're going to be running critical mastery for the extra crit damage. We're then running extended magazine because we can, synergetic, and improved repertory. So let's get straight into it. It is going to be an Overlord run, so ladies and gentlemen, expect a decently long video. I'm going to see how far we can push this. We do not have space to start with weapon expert or what was that other one? I haven't used it in so long, I can't remember the name. Where you start off with a random skill. So my gosh, my brain just went like dead. I'm going to remember the name of the rune while we are busy playing and land up saying it, but you guys can correct me in the comments if you feel like doing that. But man, I just can't remember the name. Unconventional starts, I think it was. But anyway, we can start off getting ourselves some life and some armor. That's fine. Here we've got Arcane Overload, the star of the show. Now the way that the skill works is we launch multiple arcane missiles at random positions, causing damage. Damage is multiplied based on your multicast chance. So your first thing is wall broken while you're using the Arcane Weaver. Well, for starters, our artifact power is Mana Beam, which gives us a dazed. You can read what it does over there if you want, just pause it and read it. But essentially it gives us dazed. So we summon those towers, the towers deal damage in between us and the tower to everything it touches, providing us with dazed. So that's what that does. The other thing is Arcane Overload, because its damage is multiplied based on your multicast chance, we are going to be getting ourselves Arcane power, as well as a whole lot of bulwark form. We're going to grab ourselves a form to haste because it's going to go from haste to finesse. So we're going to go form to haste, haste to finesse, and that's going to give us more multicast chance. We don't run multicast mastery because in the end we're talking about the amount of multicast we actually have as a stat on our character, not the chains of multicast that we can provide due to having multicast chance. So multicast mastery makes it so your actual multicast chain is longer than what you would have with a certain percentage, where we ourselves are looking for that percentage to be higher. So arcane power is a big one. You want as much of it as possible. We're going to grab some block power. We finally got Blades of Light. We can grab ourselves lethality. Swing to thrust is good. We do, see, all of these are really good because that's going to give us crit chance. But the most important one, I think over here, we'll lock it and we'll get ourselves the relentless and the skill chain. We can grab ourselves more of that. Some magnetic is always good to have. And then we are missing Heart-Rending Strike, as well as one more skill. I can't even remember what it was. We'll see. Thrust. So Heart-Rending Strike, there we go. And then we're just missing Thrust, but we should be okay. Thrust is going to give us resilience as well as form. That's actually quite a nice one to add in there for the resilience without using slam skills. So because we are using thrust and swing with the arcane, we actually are able to get quite a lot of skill chain going with thrust, arcane, and swing. And then we've also got a little bit of holy over there, but we'll probably get, we'll keep the holy one because that is going to give us prowess and purity. So at least we do have healing in the build. If we're looking for defenses, there is that. We are going to have bulwark as well. So we do have the defenses there as well with bulwark and armor. Don't see anything with the skill we want, so that's a bit unfortunate. There's a form to haste. A beautiful relentless over there. Get ourselves some cast frequency there. We get the crit chance from that, crit damage, and armor over there. I'm gonna actually banish expansives because I don't think we do need them. And then also we can just reduce this to about 0.5 for now, just to make it a little bit more bearable on our eyes. Now this should take about 5.5 minutes for us to reach the first Overlord cycle. Just that's how quickly it usually takes for us on this level. But this is definitely a skill, or a, you know, we've got Dazed in the build. The only thing we would be missing in this build is Shattered. But because we're using the Arcane Weaver, we get the increased Dazed from our mana beams. That's why having someone like the not cursed captain, someone like the demon hunter who has Shattered as an artifact power, which actually provides with quite a lot of Shattered, is actually really good. Or having access to blast skills to get yourself that Shattered is also pretty good. Or, you know, slam skills with the armor shatterer can be pretty decent. But otherwise, you're going to be looking at things like not having that armor reduction, which can be quite bad. We do need it sometimes. Okay, we can grab both of these. Why not? Ooh, wait, we want that as well. Health, not really looking for those skills per se. We do have the fragility on magic missile. Why can I not find the skill that I'm looking for? Game, can you not just love me and give it to me? No, not there. We don't need the expansive. We should be able to get like increase arcane area of effect or thrust area of effect and things like that. So we don't necessarily need to look for upgrades to it to increase it any other way. So expansive can go out, gives us the opportunity for 3 more passives in the game to show up more, because we no longer get the common, uncommon, or rare expansive showing, or epic actually. So 4. There's a multicast. Now we've got 62% increased multicast mastery. We're looking for the base stat, not for a skill specific multicast mastery. So every time we see it, we are going to grab it. We don't need Holy Beam anymore. There we go. The cast frequency on everything is going to be good. We need as much finesse as possible. It does cap out at 1,000 stacks though. But we can get a flat multicast chance anyway. I don't believe there is, or we don't know the actual upper limit to it. Everything does have a cap in the game. So our damage, our everything has a cap. We just don't know the exact numbers. We know the hard caps of buffs and things like that, but I don't know the hard caps of the actual damage in the game. Although I don't think they are. It could be that it's just because there's a hard cap on the buffs and debuffs that our power is capped in the end. If you're able to keep getting yourself general upgrades to like multicast chance, oh well, multicast is a bad example. There is diminishing returns with it, but if you're able to get as much like powerful strikes as possible to increase your damage, then I think you can skyrocket it. But you know, each level being like a maximum of 40% is quite a lot of percentage to gain from levels. That's like 100 levels just for 4,000%, and that's getting the rare option all 100 levels, which doesn't happen. Alright, so we did it in 5 minutes and 12 seconds. It's actually a lot faster than I thought it would be. I thought we'd do it in about 5:40 or just under 6 minutes. So we nearly a full minute under my expectations, which is actually really good. We're going to grab that. We're going to grab some armor now. Cast frequencies are good. There's our first haste to finesse. And our damage is sitting on 5.3 right now, which is actually really good without our ascension. That's pretty good. 5.6 with arcane power and our finesse right now. So let's see what happens with our ascension as well. And we can see what the number goes to, but we're going to try and get it going at a good time, because we want arcane power to be active at the exact same time as well. But there we go. It goes up to a 7 times multiplier. It also has a pretty decent base damage, 476. I mean, compare that to 408, 414, 277, 394, and that also has a damage multiplier, and 351, so it is quite high. Only thrust has a higher base damage. Alright, bulwark to aptitude, that's great. Grab the crit chance there. Another haste to finesse is great. Grab ourselves some damage reduction is actually really good over here. We're on quite a lot of increased critical strike chance right now. Only 91% increased damage, maybe some powerful strikes would be pretty good here. Another finesse, great. Increase the amount there. Cast frequency, a beautiful multicast happening there. But the one thing we're not getting is cast frequency on the arcane power. So I would like to see more of that if possible. And then I need more cast frequency on the Arcane Overload, because the more that goes off, the better or stronger we will be. Right now it's sitting on a 2.7 second cooldown. Although we do want it to be relatively high because we want as much multicast as possible to try and get it going. But I mean, if you're at a point where... both of these. If you're at a point where you are getting a lot of... we don't need movement speed. If you're at a point where you're getting... what was I talking about now? We actually don't want to cap our cast frequency on the skill. So I'm like, oh, we're on 2.7, that's pretty decent. We want as much cast frequency on it as possible because we're going to be at a pretty much infinite scaling multicast chance. And that just means that the damage is going to keep going up on it. So even if we have it at a 0.2 second cooldown, there's no way that the damage, the damage flux doesn't matter. It's not like we're trying to scale a dot damage to a certain percentage before the skill goes off. So something like Purging Slam, you kind of don't want as much cast frequency because you need to stack as much poison as possible before it hits the enemy. Whereas this, it doesn't matter. It's not a debuff on the enemy, it's a buff on ourselves. So we constantly have that number up all the time. So we can have a 0.2 second cooldown for the skill, and that's actually going to be more beneficial than not. Swing to Holy is good. We can grab ourselves some damage there. Swing to Arcane's even better. Also the multicast chance over there is very good. Cast frequency, increase the amount, beautiful damage, beautiful multicast. We finally get our first cast frequency upgrade for that. And also grab the Ascension upgrades because we want increases to our mana crystals and so on and so forth for the extra damage. I don't even know, this is the 4th set of bosses. That's pretty good. We do have healing, so we're not so stressed out if we get hit. And we've also got a whole bunch of other things. Let's go more multicast. We can grab the Bulwark, increase damage, beautiful. That's a pity because it's a damage multiplier, so the damage increase we get only affects the base damage. It doesn't affect the damage multiplier. Unlike, again, your dot damage upgrades, those increase the amount of damage dealt per stack when you get damage increases to them. So quite a big difference between the different skills. Also, I wonder how many stacks of dazed we actually apply. And it went up. This is a pretty insane what's the word, artifact power that we've got on the Arcane Weaver. 8 minutes 38, so around 2 minutes faster than the time that they said. It gave us another 3.5 minutes now to complete the cycle. I think we'll be able to get that a whole lot better. But this is such a cool one. There you can see, I think that was actually I don't even know if that's ammunition, but look at that going. It actually went off so many times with the multicast chain that it nearly reset its cooldown. So the skill nearly went off for a whole 2.6 seconds just because of multicast chaining. That was a pretty insane little investment over there. I wouldn't say investment actually, but it was a little bit of an insane show of the skill going off quite a lot. I would like to have like 6 Arcane Overlords just because Overloads, because it would be really interesting to see how they, not interact with each other, but just seeing that explosion of missiles could be really fun to watch. But unfortunately, I don't think that would work really well. Right, swing to thrust. We are sitting on 124 stacks of Arcane finesse. That does mean we have a lot of room for growth. We are still able to get 10 times more stack. But if we get 8 times more and get to the 800 finesse stacks, then I'll be happy. Multicast chance on both of these, cast frequency for the skill. Again, getting that as low as possible will be great. And then we can grab the crit chance. We might not actually need crit chance, but because we are running critical strike mastery, we do want as much crit as possible as well. So that's going to get turned into critical damage. We probably could have used a different rune. I was thinking of using the armor piercing rune, which makes it so that every time we consume ammunition, we gain 15% increased damage. So that's another one we could have used. I don't know how much better that would have been compared to having this critical mastery, but you know, it's definitely worth viewing or seeing where it takes us. Still trying to find more over here. We're going to grab the multicast mastery. Unfortunately, this is for specific skills, so I don't believe it increases this. I mean, we can check if I click on it and see what happens. If we go from 9 to increased, no, it doesn't. So yeah, like I thought, it has to be the base stat, which means that using our Arcane Weaver was a good choice because it is the character that has the highest multicast chance multiplier in the game. If you're looking to do some weird and wonderful things with multicast chance, then the Arcane Weaver, the Arcane Weaver is the man to, or lady to go to. So that's the reason for it. We're grabbing even more over here now. That's fantastic. We're on 72% with just our own multicast chance. I think we can get to about a whole lot more, maybe 500, but we're sitting at a 10 times multiplier now. And the more, that we get from here, and the more that we get from base stats, the more we're going to be doing a good job. We can now we don't have to worry about our critical strike chances because of the bulwark to aptitude. I think we will get quite a decent amount of stats. Yep, 720% crit damage, which is pretty decent, considering we don't have any skills providing us with aptitude. That's just based off of going from bulwark to aptitude. So 11 seconds, pretty good. Grab the block over there and let's keep going. See what happens within 20 minutes and how much damage we've dealt. Could be quite interesting. This is a really fun one though. It's pretty decent. So I will be putting chapters, if you haven't noticed, they are there. But something I do want you guys to take a look at is in the chapters of the actual video, watch the time of each chapter. So each chapter will be an Overlord cycle. You'll notice the first round's really long, and then the second and third round, they get shorter and shorter, and eventually it starts to get a little bit longer as well if we get to that part. But let's say we did get over to like Overlord 8 or 9, eventually you'll start seeing it goes really short per round, and then it starts to slowly increase per round as well as the enemies get more tanky, more difficult, and things like that. We start seeing that happen there as well. So we can actually get a multiplier here as well. Very, very strong damage coming from that too. Still need a little bit more cast frequency on our skills. There's a little bit more over there. We do want that multicast chance though instead. And we got to just keep picking up all of these crystals as well to ensure that we've got all of our multicast chance from our ascension as well. Make sure the bosses are dead. Pick up whatever crystals we can. We lost our ascension. Alright, multicast, grab that. There's the cast frequency, that's it. So now the next time we see cast frequency on the arcane power, we can banish it. We will still gain cast frequency on everything else until we see a 0.2 second cast frequency on all of our skills, and we will go from there. I mean, we don't need a 0.2 seconds. We also like skill chain, so that's a good one to see. We don't need the duration. Form to haste, although we don't really need that much, but hey, it's there. Take it. We are zooming here. I think we don't want to move as much. I'm not 100% sure how much block we have, but as you can see there, even though we took damage, we do heal it right back up because we have a 0.4 second cooldown on our Blades of Light, which is giving us insane amounts of purity. Also, we got some skill chain to Holy, so you know there is a chance that that's happening there too. Multicast, we want more life, and we get a crit chance from the thrust skills. The only thing, yeah, that doesn't crit, so it doesn't actually matter. Alright, this is beautiful. That took us just over a minute, wasn't it? Now it says 2 minutes to the next cycle finished. Let's see what happens. Multicast and cast frequency, 0.6 seconds. Yeah, we want as much of that as possible. We are now sitting on 170 stacks. 180 keeps going up, so we comfortably on 200 stacks of finesse right now. Now we can get even more thanks to that haste to finesse. That looks like it's going to hit 300 stacks pretty quickly. And we also don't even necessarily need to worry about a lot of the area of effect damages on the floor, so that's pretty good as well. But look at that arcane power go. Alright, so we'll get a magnetic, more life. Here's a beautiful relentless, that is fantastic over there. I don't think I want more form to haste though. We do have haste already from our quick strike, and then we got haste to finesse, but I don't think we want to run it. I'm actually going to use a couple of rerolls here to get some upgrades. Increase the frequency, yeah, we can grab one of those, even if we get to 100% on it and then, you know, get rid of it. But having our Ascension show up more often is going to be very good for us for our multicast chance. It also does give us area of effect and damage, so it is pretty good to get as much of it as possible. Don't need the cast frequency, there's nothing really here. Potency is very good, and we're actually getting nearly 200% multicast chance just from arcane power, and we're now on a 16.3 times multiplier, which is massive if you don't mind me saying. That is a very big multiplier right now. Alright, even more multicast, we get thrust to swing, more critical strike damage. Beautiful. Look at all those big numbers on the screen. I actually need to turn the numbers off, unfortunately, so let's do that. Because otherwise it just brings a whole lot more clutter into the game. Even the visibility, drop it by 2.2. Just because I prefer seeing all the red dots on the floor. Not that we actually need to worry about it. I think for our final Overlord cycle, when we decide, when we're close to the 20-minute mark, we will go and you know, activate it to the full screen and just see how ridiculous it all looks and go from there. Grab multicast chance, another haste to finesse is great, armor is good, swing to holy is also fantastic. Even though holy is a swing, what that means is it cannot skill chain itself, so you cannot have Blades of Light cause Blades of Light to go off again. But what it does mean is if you had 6 Blades of Light, 5 of them will cause the other one to skill chain. But it's not able to skill chain itself. It has to be another swing skill going to holy. Pretty interesting. Okay, multicast chance over there, beautiful. What can we grab? Armor, I guess. We've got huge damage increases to our Arcane Overload. We've got pretty big damage to our Blades of Light. Some decent ones to everything. So we don't actually need to worry about powerful strikes. We can banish that as well. Next one we see. There we go. And we grab a potency there. And I don't want these. I'm just going to get rid of it. Reroll. We'll wait for the damage. I think we can reroll quite a bit more to try and get upgrades to the Arcane Overload now. And you can already see our damage is starting to tank, but it's taken a little bit of time to get our damage up over there compared to the other rounds. So we should be able to get to a Overlord cycle 6, which is pretty decent, but it's definitely not a push in the park like we've done with other characters. Momentum, frequencies, damage increase, we can re-roll these ones. Swing to Holy is fine. I would have liked more swing to Arcane or Arcane to Thrust to Arcane or Thrust to swing would have been better as well. Let's see, there's Thrust to Arcane, beautiful, that's what we needed. That did way too much damage, we actually lost a life there. I did not expect that to happen. I thought Purity would have kept us alive there, but unfortunately it didn't. So that's quite scary. We've got to make sure that we do actually move around, otherwise we will die. Also, we need more area of effect, because the fact that we can't kill things from far away is a bit of a problem here. Let's see, damage increase to those we don't need. There's swing to Arcane, we'll grab that. We don't even need the damage over here, we'll grab the potency there. Multicast chance is good as well. So our multicast chance right now is sitting on 848%. We've also got the multicast chance for that, so 1000 multicast chance. We're actually sitting on 18 times damage, which is huge now. That is fantastic. We're still not at the capped amount, so if we can get to over 1000 multicast, that would be pretty good before the video ends. So let's try and do that and see where we can go from there. Oh, our Ascension isn't active. Oh no, it is. Okay, so we are 900 stacks or 900 multicast with our Ascension active right now. So that is pretty big. Not that it actually affects anything. The cap for multicast is actually quite low before you start getting insane diminishing returns for it. So we should be already at a part where multicast is actually ineffective to get. So we should look for other things like cast frequency being a lot better. So we will actually get rid of the multicast now, and we'll start looking at other things like our cast frequencies, as well as just damage upgrades from there. But I don't think there's anything more we can do damage wise. We've probably hit a pretty good ceiling already on the skill, unless we just get flat damage upgrades, which we can do. But we are going into the Overlord cycle 3 now. It's going to be interesting to see how well this works for us now. So let's go into it, see what happens for us. But the artifact power is really fun to use with this character, as you've seen, and this build is actually pretty cool. Insane amounts of movement speed. Also, there are a whack ton of beams, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see them, but kind of looks like quite a mess of a character right now. You can see all of the purity going off. You can't actually see our Arcane overload as much as I would have liked, to be honest, but still pretty impressive if you ask me. Quite the light show. We do need more area of effect actually out of everything. So I haven't seen a lot of the Arcane skill area of effect upgrades like we usually would. But otherwise, I think we're fine. We've got 1.5 second cooldown on the skill. We've got skill chain going off as well. And this is what it looks like in all of its glory, which is pretty insane. Okay, so we are staying alive thanks to our lovely healing. I'm sure we could get to Overlord 7 actually. But yeah, so that's what it looks like. I'm actually going to reduce this back down to 4 or 2, sorry, just so I can actually play the game and focus on movement. The problem is there's just too much going on right now, and we need to go for a bit more defensives over there. Because our block is only sitting at 85% and our armor is really bad at 48% armor reduction. So we actually need to focus on a little bit of armor increases because 48% is really bad. Especially when they keep doing more and more damage to us. Come on. Although you don't need armor if you've got block, because if you can block, you know, 80% of all attacks, those 20% that come through, you can heal up quick enough at least. Okay, get more block power. More laugh would be good as well. I guess I kind of skipped all of the defenses. We should have taken more of them, but we never. We need the thrust to Arcane, so we can't reroll over there. And we're gaining levels faster than I use rerolls, which is really bad as well, guys. You should reroll a whole lot more often. I know I should be doing it, I just don't do it. I don't know, I can't really tell you why I don't do it, I just don't. It just doesn't happen for me. We just do too much cast frequency for it right now. It's because of the optimization to projectiles, I believe it is. So because the optimization to projectiles got changed, and because the change made it so that I think they occur faster than what they usually would, therefore causing things. But we are at the 20-minute mark, ladies and gentlemen, so that is that. We did do up to Overlord 6, which isn't bad. You can see we dealt a whack ton of damage with the Arcane Overload. We landed up dealing 770 billion, so just off of the trillion mark, which is sad. We would have liked to have seen that, but anyway, it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time. Cheers.